Hey buddies, Mr. Pugly here, coming at you another Wonderlands video. Today I want to discuss a hidden nerf that came out most recently. I believe it came out just a little bit over a week ago for the live wire. It feels a bit weird because as far as I'm aware, it wasn't noted in the hotfix, but this nerf is going to unfortunately make your live wire builds deal less damage. I feel like a lot of melee builds use live wire for its obvious interaction, and this small change will nerf your build just a little bit. It won't make or break anything, it just feels weird and I'm looking to report on it. But before we get into the video, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and follow me on Twitch on the top right. You have no idea how much helps me out. And let's get into the video.
Legendary? Whoa! No way, dude!
But first things first, credit where credit is due. Stone Swan figured this out. I'm not sure what made him even want to investigate it, but nevertheless, he posted the information on his Discord that pretty much Livewire chains is only boosted by global boosts such as conditional, all damage dealt, elemental, stuff like that. So in the past, it was buffed, or I'm not even sure, I guess changed to scale with melee, and now it no longer does. An easy way to show off this being the case is if I were to unequip all my gear that's all damage dealt, or aka global stuff. Just have some random stuff here, nothing that's going to be affecting it. And my skill trees are basically empty, and we're going to take into note the amount of damage that the live wire is dealing. So this is 282 and 104. I'm just going to be pulling up my notepad and calculator just so you can real quick see on what I'm talking about here. So if we were to divide this number by the actual melee hit, we get a conversion rate of 0.36. So pretty much, let's keep that number in mind. Pretty much this means that every live wire hit is only 36% of the original melee hit. So 3 live wire hits does technically go over the 282, but I digress. Let's go over to a ring to increase our melee damage and see if this distance in the gap changes at all. So I'm going to melee again, hopefully not get a crit. And now, albeit we do have bigger numbers, the difference between the two should be identical. So I'm going to once again divide the lesser number by the bigger number, and we have once again 0.36. So this is our second test, and this is our first test. I'm going to delete my previous test just so we don't have any confusion. Next, let's equip some items that are going to be global. So all damage dealt, as you can see right here. And we should see that the number difference is going to be a little bit different than what we had before on our test. So I'm going to once again divide the lesser number by the bigger number, and now we have a damage difference of 0.47. So the live wire is now dealing 47% of the original melee hit, which means that all damage dealt is affecting it. And this proves that even though we equip some melee items that deal melee damage, and of course it makes the total damage higher, it doesn't actually increase the damage of the live wire hit itself or boost it as it did in the past. Now once again, I can equip a random all damage dealt item again, and we can see the difference is going to be even larger, with now our secondary number having a 0.55 on our fourth test, which means that our fourth test is dealing, the live wire hits are dealing 55% of the original melee hit. I don't know why it was changed. There wasn't any notes in the hotfixes on why this was. Just keep in mind that live wire no longer is boosted by melee damage in the way it was in the past. Technically, melee damage is going to make the damage deal more damage, because we can see from our first test that the live wire chain does deal a percentage baseline of the original melee hit. So obviously the higher the original melee hit, the more damage the live wire is going to deal. Obviously everyone knows this. If you're watching this video, you probably already know that. Just keep that in mind if you're doing a live wire build. Try to optimize global damage now if you want your live wire to deal the most amount of damage as possible. Obviously with melee damage, consider the following: that if you were using a spell blade to potentially deal more damage with live wire, unfortunately, you won't be getting spell boost to your melee damage anymore, aka all spell damage translates into melee damage, as we know with the spell blade. So unfortunately, you won't get a huge multiplier from the spell blade from the live wire specifically anymore, which is a bit of a shame. It didn't really need a nerf, it didn't really need to be buffed either, but I felt like this change was a bit weird. Hopefully this helps you guys figure out on why maybe your live wire build is dealing less damage than it was before. Nevertheless, it's still going to be a best in slot item for most builds, but I digress. I just wanted to tell you guys on what's happening currently with the live wire situation. But as always, a big shout out to the members who make these videos possible. We got Clawbringer, Rick and Glacius, Grey Wolf, Cameron, Wishkeeper, and 31 Bar 70. These are the people who support me as little as $5 a month on Patreon, YouTube, and you can also support me as little as $5 a month by clicking the link in the comments or description or in the top right to become a member. The more members we have, the closer I get to becoming full-time, which means more videos for you guys. And as always, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I hope y'all have a great day. Bye-bye.
And the last shall be first to immerse in a pass out heat, facing him up with a moxie melt till he woke up drowning in tchotchke hell. More in a cave with a torch on the wall than a window arrangement of porcelain dolls.